Hello, everybody. It's another Move TV with me, Graham Cofe, on this lovely Friday afternoon. So just before you pack away everything for the day and decide to go off into the wonderful weekend, we thought we'd talk to Tommy here from Blue Street Marketing about what he does for a living. And you can ask him questions if you want to as well. So Tommy, welcome to Move TV. How are you?
Good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, good. And you look like you're sitting in the dark there. Is that something that you like to do?
No, it's quite cloudy where I am, and obviously the lighting that I've got, it makes it look quite darker than what it is.
I see. There you go. So tell people that are watching what does Blue Street Marketing do?
Yeah, so we're wholly invested in social media. We're specialists in Facebook ads. So we deliver lead generation strategies to our clients. We deliver inquiries that are fully fledged and qualified for as little as 45 pence. And so far we've done over 2,000 for an average of £2.31.
Right. That sounds that you seem to know your monies there. Is everything in your world quite kind of like analytical driven and absolutes?
Yeah, it makes it easier to talk to clients because I think in what we do, when we talk about impressions, reach, reactions, although we can understand the qualitative impact of that, they can't. So they want to put it into quantitative terms. So, if we can draw that down and put it into actual, return on investment or inquiries or new customers, then that's the language that they like to talk.
There you go. Now, listen, I want to understand what got you into this in the first place. What did you enjoy at school? What was it that took you along the path of this? What did you do as a degree?
So I actually did business management as a degree and as an A-level. But to be honest, when I chose business management, it was purely because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know that I wanted to run my own business. So it bought me those extra few years whilst I figured out what it actually looked like. And then funnily enough, it didn't actually come from my education. It came from circumstances around my education, I guess is what you would call it.
Okay.
So whilst we were at university and all of my friends were working at Tesco or, working in the pubs, the bars, late nights, whatnot, I thought I don't really want anything like that. I want something that's flexible around my studies so it doesn't impact on my academics. So I had quite a big Instagram following, so I just monetized that. So I started doing influencer marketing, earning commissions and whatnot. And then that eventually got to the point where with the influencer agency that I was working with, they were asking me to share what I was doing with everyone else in there. So I was helping like 30 other lads to do what I do and give them tips and whatnot. So then after about 18 months, 2 years of that, I just decided if I did this on my own as a social media business, I'd probably earn a lot more money.
Fantastic.
And that was the birth of the Blue Street Marketing.
What were you an influencer for? What were you influencing?
It was all kinds of stuff, but it was mainly to do with like financial services. So obviously, Chris Drew will know a lot about that. He's a member of our Move Online group. You've got to submit a lot of content to be approved 2 or 3 weeks in advance. So again, that just gave me the tools to, prepare deadlines, prepare content in advance, have a clear strategy in place, and know the reasons for why you're posting each piece of content. So again, it just equips you with the analytical armament that you need to execute social media.
That's fascinating. That's a great way to start. And I love the whole concept of, making this a kind of bedroom industry, if you were, because that way you can literally stop off at one point. That's the business done for the day. Turn around. There's the books. Carry on. Do some study. Back to the business again. Was it hard at university separating off the two?
Yeah, it was, but it would become more difficult as the seasons changed. So, for example, when you're studying at university, around the Christmas period and the April period, that's when it's at its busiest with assignments, and you'll be given anywhere between 6 and 14 assignments each year. And just to put that into perspective for people, if you want to get a high grade on an assignment, you need to dedicate around 40 to 50 hours per assignment. So when it comes to those periods and you have 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 due within a 2-week period, it's really hard to manage, obviously, your 20 hours at university, your 40, 50 hours for your assignments, and then obviously your time for your clients. So there was one point in my final year where I had to actually let go of all of my clients so that I could actually finish all of my assignments. And it was a big decision. It was one that I actually consulted with Move Online on, because obviously I've been a member of that for quite a number of years now. And it was one which divided the group. A lot of people wanted me to back myself and my business, but a lot of people wanted me to have that safety net of, a good grade. So eventually I just decided to back myself in the sense of I'll let the business go because I can always rebuild it, whereas I can't revisit an old grade and change that.
That's really interesting. Did you find that you managed to bring any of that business back? Did you, or did it literally what you let go that went?
Yeah, so one of the ones was my very first ever client, North Wales Training and their subsidiary Copper Apprenticeship, and we have a great relationship to this day. A lot of the guys that were there when they were my client have actually moved on now, and they've approached me to help them with the current companies that they're working with. So we enjoy a great relationship with clients like that.
Yeah, you see, sometimes letting clients go isn't actually letting them go completely, is it? You're still very young. Do you feel like you've only just touched the surface of where you want to get to as a business?
Yeah, definitely. I always had a vision that I wanted to be regarded as an expert in social media marketing, because I need a lot of fulfillment in what I do. So the fact that we're only 2.5 years into it and the knowledge and experience that I feel that I have already, I feel like I'm well on my way to having that title at the end of the 7 years.
And outside of work, what are your passions? I mean, I hear you talk about football quite a bit.
Yeah, well, obviously, I've got a couple of scarves in the background there, so that always helps when I'm speaking to new clients or new members of my network. It breaks the ice quite quickly. I used to be quite interesting. I used to have a great social life. I used to go out every weekend. I was always doing things, but now I don't know whether it's January or it's because I'm getting more set in my ways, but I love just like playing PlayStation games and watching Star Wars and Marvel, things like that.
Oh my goodness! Is there any particular game that you're working your way through at the moment?
I'm quite typical. I'll play a lot of FIFA. Obviously, always selecting Liverpool, so yeah, I like to do career modes on FIFA.
One day I'll give you a game. It's about the only game I can actually play on any platform is FIFA. All of these, games where you walk around shooting or whatever, I'm dead within seconds. But FIFA makes sense to me because I was quite sporty when I was young, and I just enjoy the tactics of any kind of game like that. It's not just about
Definitely.
how fast you move. Yeah, there's picking the right squad, all of that sort of thing is really important as well. So no, totally enjoy that. In terms of your ambition, other than being sort of the best that you can be within your little sector as well, your sector of social media marketing, what would be your ambition? Would you like this to be one day I have staff and a premises, etc.? Or
yeah, so obviously I also do business coaching with Mark and Andrea. So they really push me to develop that vision of where I want to see myself in 12 months' time. And originally, it wasn't something that I had tangibly laid out that I could envision. It was just something that was more a case of let's just keep growing, but no actual metric in terms of what does success look like. At what point, will I hit my target? So with Mark and Andrew, we've been able to really map that out and break it down into daily actions. So in terms of what the ambition is, the person you could best liken it to is probably Liam from Quirky Digital. I think what he's done over the last 2 years, has just been insane. We started out in similar circumstances, and now he's got a budding team of I think around 8 people now, who are all experts in what they do. It's a team that he can rely and depend upon. So I think he's the benchmark for everyone under the age of 30 in and around Liverpool to follow and aspire to be like.
Yeah. Does the thought of management scare you at all?
It doesn't, because I've been in a lot of situations where I've had to manage teams and groups. The one challenge which I'm going to have, and I know that you'll be familiar with this, is obviously there's 2 types of workers, isn't there? There's managers and there's creatives. So the managers, they'll block out their time and have an hour for A, an hour for B, an hour for C, and so on. Whereas the creative will probably have 4 hours for A and 3 hours for B. So I do like to attack things in big block timescales. I'm not that great at doing things, by the hour. It's one of the reasons why I never really liked school. The alarm would go at 11, the bell would go at 11 o'clock, and then you're on to your next lesson. Same again at 12.
You've only just got into that subject. Yeah.
Yeah, because it takes you about 20 minutes to get into what you're doing, really, and get into that flow state. So then I hate being taken out of that flow state before the task has been completed.
Yeah. It's an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? Yeah, that does happen in school. You kind of start a subject, you just get into it. You're in the middle of creating something, and then they go, well, "Don't worry, you can finish it next time." Were you always frustrated then? And it's like, "Oh no, can't I just carry on and finish this now?" And then, next lesson, I'm not even really interested in that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, it's easier with objective subjects like maths, because 2 + 2 is 4. There's no disputing that. But then when you've got your more
5, isn't it?
creative subjects like English, when you've got your more creative subjects like English, especially when you're writing any kind of like literature pieces, it's hard to get back into that mindset 24 or 48 hours later, where you go, I can't remember what my thought train was. So you're probably spending more time leaving notes for yourself for the next lesson than you were actually writing down what it was you had in your head. So yeah, I've always liked to attack things in big block timescales.
If you could choose your perfect client tomorrow, that you've landed within the business, who would that be?
Sorry?
If you could choose your perfect client that you've landed within the business, who would that be? What would that look like?
It's a tough one. We're doing a lot of experimenting with a lot of clients in different industries at the moment. It's a tough one. There's a few different ones that we like working with at the moment. I'm really enjoying the work that we're doing with football academies. So we're flying out to Ireland on Wednesday to have a league meeting to get the academy that we're working with fully integrated with that league. So it'll just help the integration of the journey for the local Irish kids over there. But then there's also other industries that I really like working into. So property development, investment, all those kinds of similar fortes, they work really, really well with us, as do recruitment agencies. So there's a few different ones, but I'd say those would be my top 3 in no particular order.
Okay. Have you ever thought about what are similar about those different things? I mean, is there a social element, a people element in all of those things that make it perhaps a little bit more interesting? Maybe you can actually almost feel that you can see the outcome, not just in terms of the results, but in terms of the physical results, because people are being employed or positioned or given an opportunity out of the work that you're doing.
Yeah, so the first big similarity between all 3 of them is that they're all obviously service-based businesses that deal in volume, and then the second big similarity, as you just mentioned, is the fact that it's a big impact, which is measurable both qualitatively and quantitatively, because as you've mentioned, People are putting on the pathways to employment through the football academies. They're following the passion, or through the recruitment agencies, they're able to get employment right now, or again through property development and investment. It's creating opportunities for people in those industries, and also creating homes for people who need them right now. There's a big demand for it, so we're able to step in and help out there.
Do you know what I can see in you? That one of your big ambitions, I'm going to tell you what one of your big ambitions would be now, is to see Blue Street Marketing as the sponsor on a major league kit. Yeah, come on, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Which team would it be? Which team would it be, Tommy? Which team would it have to be if you got Blue Street Marketing on it?
We'd probably need a 9-figure turnover to go for a team like Liverpool. But if we couldn't go for someone like that, we'd probably have to go for a local team like maybe Crew Alex.
Well, the only other obstacle I see there, because I knew you were going to say Liverpool, was that Blue Street Marketing, Liverpool being the Reds, might not go together. You may end up having to rename the business Red Street Marketing. Where did the name come from in the first place? I'm intrigued to know.
Oh, so it's a double entendre. So the first part is that the actual definition of a blue streak is a big fast flurry of words talked in a constant stream. So that's essentially what marketing is. It's selling yourself and not skimping over any details, being quite fine to the line, but doing it in a fast and efficient way. I think that's the very definition of marketing. But then it's also the second definition was I wanted to have something quite personal in there. So I just kind of developed the name from my dog, who was my best friend at the time. So he's passed away now, but it was a nice little way to bring the two together, because it made sense from a logical sense and obviously from an emotional sense. So sales and marketing wise, that's the perfect combination if you can get a 10 out of 10 on an emotional and logical scale.
Well, do you know what? That's a clip that's being cut out of this and is going to be used on social media, because I bet you a lot of people don't know where your name comes from, and we're going to find out. Okay, so we're going to quiz people. Do you know where the name comes from? And then we'll have that little clip in there to see, and we'll see what all the guesses are before they actually watch the video. That would be a really lovely thing, wouldn't it? Do all of the people in Move? Do all of the people in Move know where it came from? Have you explained that to them in the past, or will this be a surprise for some of them as well?
I think it would be a surprise for maybe 2/3 of the group.
There you go.
The first third were obviously in and around our meetings when we were developing the name. I think one person thought I named it after the Martin Lawrence film from 1999.
Yeah. Not at all. Now, I mentioned Move there. We're both members of Move. I see you on a regular basis at Move. What did Move mean to you? What does Move mean to you? And how did you discover Move in the first place?
Yeah, so it's Move is like different things, has meant different things at different points in my life. So I was first introduced to Move by a woman called Pancase. She put me in touch with Mark as I was looking for more networking events. And at the time, I'd only just started Blue Streak Marketing. Obviously, it wasn't called that at the time. I was just a freelancer. So Mark invited me along to an event, and the thing that struck me with Move was that first event. I was quite not nervous, but I wanted to see what Move was about. I wanted to understand the culture, the values, and how people interacted with each other. So my mindset was just to come in and then just kind of take a bit of a backseat and just watch how the meeting went along. And obviously, in those Move Online meetings, we have what's called a mastermind session, where everyone gets around 4 or 5 minutes of allocated time to talk about whatever it is they want to. So the first mastermind session, someone asked advice on something, and immediately they put the question to me. And that was it took me back a little bit, because I thought, I think I was 21 years old at the time, or maybe 20. And thought, I'm just kind of like, I was surprised that people with 20 years of experience wanted to know what I had to say. So there's no bias or prejudice in Move. Everyone's valued equally. And then again, it was that thing of I was still quite reluctant to actually engage with the meeting, but they kept pushing because you could tell that everyone there wanted to know what I had to say. So immediately, because of those values and culture that I could see, I just became a member that very night. I took out a membership, and it's never been cancelled since. It's renewed every single month for those last 2 years, or 2.5 years now.
Would you say it's played a major part in terms of not just your business growth, but your personal development in terms of confidence?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, when I first joined Move, it was really about getting as much advice as I could from experienced veterans in the business world. So there was accountants, financial advisors, other marketers, salespeople, business coaches, all of whom were willing to give me all of their time to help me establish a concrete foundation to grow my business from. So when I started out with Move, that was exactly what it was for me. And these days, it's because that foundation's now been established. It's grown to another level now, whereby I'm able to really develop and build those strong relationships with everyone involved in Move. So we're able to rely on each other, trust each other. We're able to bring each other on in different projects. Me and Liam have worked together on a couple of projects. Obviously, me and yourself are working on a project now. And also, it's the thing of, if any of my clients need any services which someone in Move can provide, it's the element of trust that they'll deliver that service without any fuss, really. So it's not just one thing. It's evolved as I have throughout my business journey. And then again, like I said, just having all those resources at my disposal for the price of the membership, it's invaluable to the business growth and personal growth. I can't count the number of books that Chris Ashton's recommended to me, or the amount of things that Andrea's held me accountable to, or the amount of spreadsheets that Sue Gallagher's shown me over the years. So it's something very unique that needs to be more fully integrated, not just in the business world of the UK, but around the world.
I like that last statement. So I was going to ask you, you're a marketer, so there you go. In kind of one sentence, what would you sum up? Is the ultimate USP of Move?
It's a hard one because it's such a multifaceted service that it's hard to whittle down to just one thing. But if I had to use one word to describe Move, I would use it as dependability. And I think everyone can develop their own USP from that word, whereby it's dependable in the sense of personal problems, business issues, referrals, anything really. There's always someone to help in some capacity with whatever problem you've got, I've found.
You just give me a lovely soundbite there to finish on today. Tommy, if you are looking for business and you want to use paid advertising in order to promote your business out there, how do people get hold of you? I mean, clearly we're going out live on free platforms right as we speak at the moment, but where's the best place for people to get hold of you?
Yeah, so the best place for people to get hold of us is obviously just head over to the website. It's bluestreakmarketing.co.uk. And from there, people can choose which medium that they find most appropriate to get in contact with us. We've got all the social media links at the bottom. We've got our email list, and then we've also got a few contact forms and Calendly booking systems. So just head to the website. It's got everything you need.
There you go. And if you're really lucky, Tommy will do some influencer stuff for you as well. Are you still involved in that world at all?
I'm not involved in it now. I'm still involved with the people who were involved in it, and we still have regular contact. I've just helped one of them secure a new client, just by stepping in and making that introduction for them. But as a kind of like front face thing of the business, no, not anymore.
Oh, but maybe if someone wants you to be photographed with their product, you might be quite happy if you get the right kind of paycheck for it. So who knows? There you go. Tommy, it's been a pleasure as always talking to you today. I hope people out there, if you're looking for someone that really knows their bacon when it comes to paid advertising, Tommy's your person. So much so that he's your blue streak in the marketing world, do make contact with him. Do ask him, how do I get my message across on Facebook or LinkedIn or any of those other platforms that you might be struggling with? And he will be happy to help. It's been a lovely conversation with you, and this has been another Move TV. We will have another Move TV very soon, so keep watching. If you haven't followed us on any of the social media platforms, do give a little follow to Move on any of our business pages, and we will be pleased to have a conversation with you at some point and get to know you a little bit better. Until next time, should I say, this is Friday Move TV with me, Graham Cofe, and Tommy. Bye for now.